The time's now 6:30 a.m. here on this December 15th on your Thursday. I'm Wanye Reese.
And I'm Kayla. We're just looking forward to the end of the work week. Thankfully, though, at least, Alex, we've gotten to the end of some of the severe weather threats for this morning.
Yeah, that's right. So hanging on to the tornado watch for just a few counties, but the rain has come to an end now in Macon and in Warner Robins as crossing Interstate 75, the back edge that is, and now the temperature is going to begin to cool down. Still hanging on to 66 here in Macon and Warner Robins, 67 in Gordon, 61 over in Butler, 69 down in Cordele. But let's talk about the radar picture. Here's the back edge of the rain now from Sparta down to Irwinton. This is moving through Washington County now. Let's slide this down to the south. A few showers in Jones County, seeing a few more pop up in Peach County. That's going to be the last of it there. For the most part, dry in Houston County and these red shaded counties down here. This is where the tornado watch is in effect, but I suspect that will be canceled in the next hour to hour and a half as this part of the showers and storms continues to lift away. But all in all, it's been a wet morning. We've got flooding in and around the Interstate 75, Interstate 16 interchange. Allow for some extra time there if you are headed in that direction as we watch the last of the rain begin to pull out. Temperatures today are going to be kind of a weird day. Going to continue to drop through the morning before we rebound to about 62 later on this afternoon, and with the wind out of the west at about 10 to 20 miles an hour. The sun will return as well in a chilly stretch of days ahead. Everything you need to know comes your way in just a few moments.
Thank you, Alex. And morning like this, a good time to remind you to download the 13 WMAZ app. You can get it in Google Play or Apple Store. You can also scan that QR code on the bottom of your screen. Once you get the app, make sure you turn on notifications so you can get the latest weather and news alerts sent right to your phone. New from overnight, a woman is dead in a shooting in Warner Robins.
Warner Robins police tell us they responded to the 100 block of Wallace Drive just before 1 this morning. That's near North Davis Drive in Dolores Tolliver Park. Police found a woman shot and arrested a man there. Another victim left the home where it happened. Police are still working to find him. Police say the situation started somewhere else. Investigators aren't releasing any names right now. This is a developing story, so we will continue to update you on air and online as we learn more information. It's 6:33. This morning, we now know the name of the 16-year-old who was shot and killed in Macon last night.
Bib Corner Leon Jones says it happened around 9 o'clock at the Green Meadows townhouses on Log Cabin Drive. The sheriff's office identified the victim as Nathaniel Elder. He died at a hospital around 9:45. Bib investigators are still working to figure out what led to the shooting. We'll continue to update you on air and online as we learn more about this.
This morning, we have more details on what happened when Baldwin County deputies shot a woman inside of a church on Tuesday.
The lady came out with a hammer and attacked them. They returned fire and shot her.
Sheriff Bill Massey says deputies Ernesto Lopez and Greg C. were responding to a reported burglary at a church around 5 p.m. That church was Antioch Primitive Baptist Church out on Old Monticello Road. They went inside the church and 48-year-old Fiesta Murphy attacked them with a hammer. Sheriff Massey says Lopez was hit in the arm by the hammer and got hurt. He says deputies Lopez and Greg C. shot at Murphy. Murphy is now at a local hospital. Sheriff Massey says the deputies likely saved Murphy's life by treating her before EMTs arrive. This morning, both deputies are on administrative leave until the GBI finishes up its investigation. Right now, the city of Perry passed an ordinance to limit people camping out on city streets. Last week, the mayor and council approved an ordinance on urban camping and improper use of public spaces. City manager Lee Gilmore says both residents and businesses say they've seen more people camping out in public areas like parks and in downtown. The law calls for a written warning first, then a citation, or maybe even an arrest.
When we receive concerns from businesses and from our residents, council believes it's important to respond to that. The city of Perry has very limited resources, so there are not a large number of alternatives that some bigger communities may be able to examine and take a look at.
Right now, the city of Perry currently has no homeless shelters. Gilmore says they're interested to see what Warner Robins or the state does to provide options for the homeless. He says if those options are feasible, Perry will go ahead and look into it.
Well, we have seen higher prices for just about everything lately, and Georgia Power customers may soon see a jump in their utility bills. Georgia Power's proposed a 12% rate hike that could raise the average monthly bill by about $14 next year. The commission is scheduled to vote on that rate hike next Tuesday. Tim Eccles of the State Public Service Commission says every 3 years in December, the board votes on the Georgia Power's electric rate request. He says inflation is one of the reasons you may see those rates increasing for the next 3 years, but prices are going up everywhere.
Everything in this society has gone up, and we do energy rates every 3 years, so you haven't seen them go up yet.
Eccles recommends going on a prepaid plan and get a free energy audit from your power company. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll share Eccles' take on the electric car market and adding more charging stations throughout the state.
6:36 on your Thursday morning. Warner Robins is attracting a lot more tourists. Now, Bazell with the state visitors says that state's visitors spend more than $700,000 a day in Houston County. The Warner Robins Convention and Visitors Bureau met yesterday to share new tourism numbers with community leaders. Executive Director Marcia Bazell says tourism is 13% higher than back in 2019. She says it's up because more people want to travel and are choosing Warner Robins to host conferences, visit, and work. Monica Smith, President and CEO of Southwest Tourism Society, says the city's growth is also helping the state's overall economy.
That definitely gives an opportunity for new hotel developments and hotel expansions and renovation or repurposing of facilities like this one today to use for conferences and events. And so that is always great news, because the more people you can get coming to conferences and staying in hotels, the more jobs it supports in the community. Visitors shop everything from hotels and golf courses to car rentals and business supplies, adding more than $250 million a year in spending. Well, this morning, another Central Georgia woman has a chance to win big this week. She's competing for the title of Greatest Baker. LaKendria Chambers has her sights set on the semifinals and is hoping she will advance for a shot to win $10,000 and a feature in Bake from Scratch magazine. She is currently in the quarterfinals of the digital competition and has a chance to advance if she gets enough votes. She says being a part of the contest has been very rewarding, as she initially joined in for fun and didn't think that she would even get this far. If you want to help out LaKendria reach her goals for the competition, or if you want to find out more about her baking journey, you can find the link to vote for her and a full interview on our website. That's at 13wmaz.com.
Oh man, those desserts look so good. Wishing her the best of luck. We give you a look at a former New York police detective from Bibb County and show you his struggle to get the health care he needs. Plus, our morning reporter TJ Anthony taking you to Theater Macon to give you the scoop on their production of A Christmas Classic. Right now, the time is 6:38. Of course, we are continuing to monitor weather situations this morning. We're hearing the beeping in the studio.
It's a good beep, though. So this is the tornado watch for several of our counties being canceled. It's going to continue for a few more, but this is going to be a cancellation for, this is going to be Dodge, it's continuing for Dodge and Telfair County, canceled for Dooley, Chris, Pulaski, and Wilcox. So let's get to it. Here's downtown this morning. We've got temperatures in the upper 60s, 66 the current number. Here's the radar picture, and we are getting the last of the rain out of here. So you can see what I was talking about a minute ago. We did have Dooley, Chris, Pulaski, and Wilcox County included in that tornado watch. That has since been cleared. We'll take a closer look at that here in a few minutes. Drying out now in Baldwin County and in Jones County. The heaviest of the rain now coming through Washington County as that continues to move towards the east. Here we are in Jeffersonville. The last of the rain pulling through now there, as well as in Cochran. And then once we slide our way down to the south, we only have Dodge and Telfair counties left in this tornado watch, because if we're going to get a spin-up tornado, it would be with this line here from, say, the Cadwell, Dublin area down just to the west side of Eastman there down to Abbeville as that continues to lift away. So I'm not seeing anything that's catching my eye. Haven't seen anything, at least in central Georgia all morning, that caught my eye. Of course, we did have that tornado warning down in Worth and Colquitt counties earlier, but outside of that, we have been okay and picked up some much needed rainfall, upwards of an inch of rain, maybe even over 2 inches in a few spots there in Monroe County. We are seeing some flooding issues out there on the roads, especially in and around the Interstate 75 and Interstate 16 interchange. If you're headed north on 75, all lanes blocked in downtown Macon. If you're headed east on Interstate 16 towards Interstate 75, 1 of 2 lanes blocked there at MLK. And of course, we have that accident in Monroe County that happened earlier this morning. Temperatures much warmer compared to when we went to bed last night. How about 60s out there? And that's going to continue to change as now the cold front is coming through. You can see where the arrows turn northward right there. That is where the front is right now. And as that comes through, it's going to clear the rain right on out of here. So here we are at 9 a.m. Already looking at some clearing. We're going to have plenty of sun today. By the noon hour, most of the clouds gone as well. That northwesterly, westerly wind continuing. Temperatures able to find their way back into the 60s later on this afternoon, but not as warm as we are right now. And then as we head into the overnight hours and into Friday morning, Yeah, how about mid-30s and even upper 30s out there across the area before we warm back only into the mid-50s for your Friday afternoon. And then into Saturday, a cold start once again. It's possible to see some increase, in fact, likely to see some increased cloud cover on Saturday, possibly some rain. But as of now, I'm thinking that stays down to the south. We did see 1 or 2 model runs that tried to pull that into central Georgia. But as of now, I've kept that out of the forecast because I'm not seeing any consistency there. Regardless, whatever we do see on Saturday, whether it be clouds or maybe even a few showers, it will all be gone on Sunday. And we are talking about a cold day on Sunday. How about a morning low of 29, and then on Monday a morning low of 26 here in Macon. Even colder the further north you are, say if you're up near Metro Atlanta or even into the mountains, talking about low 20s up there for the start of the week. The other thing that you're going to begin to notice, our shortest days of the year are here. 10 hours and 1 minute of daylight today. The shortest day, of course, is the winter solstice on December 21st. That is 9 hours and 59 minutes of daylight there. As we head into the day ahead, a weird day temperature-wise, continuing to cool off through the morning before we briefly get back into the 60s later on this afternoon. 62 or so will be the high temperature. And here is an early look at your Christmas forecast. We're calling it very cold and dry. Forecasting highs in the low 40s, lows in the low 20s. Of course, Christmas now 10 days away. Here's your 7-day. The coldest day over the next 7 will be Sunday, a high temperature of 49, followed by an overnight low of 26 Monday morning. Mostly dry as soon as we get the rain out of here this morning.